The sun dipped low over the horizon, casting long shadows across the sleepy town of Maplewood. The streets were quiet, save for the occasional rustle of leaves in the evening breeze. Nestled at the edge of Maplewood Avenue was an old two-story house with peeling paint and a porch swing that creaked with the slightest touch. This was where Clara lived, a woman in her early 30s with a penchant for mysteries and a heart full of stories. Clara sat at her wooden writing desk, a soft glow of her lamp illuminating the scattered papers and notes. She had been working on her latest story, a tale of intrigue and suspense, but found herself stuck. Inspiration eluded her, and she sighed, pushing her chair back. Just then the doorbell rang, echoing through the empty halls. Clara's brow furrowed. Visitors were rare at this hour. She made her way to the door. Curiosity piqued. Standing on the porch was a man she had never seen before. He was tall, with a rugged face that spoke of years spent outdoors. His eyes, however, were kind, and a hint of a smile played at the corner of his mouth. "Good evening," he said, tipping his hat. "My name is Samuel. I hope I'm not intruding." "Not at all," Clara replied, opening the door wider. "I'm Clara. What brings you here?" "I'm looking for someone who can help me," Samuel said, his voice tinged with urgency. "I've heard you're quite the storyteller, and I have a story that needs to be told." Intrigued, Clara invited him in. They settled in the cozy living room, the fireplace crackling softly. Samuel leaned forward, his hands clasped together. "I'm a private investigator," he began. "I've been working on a case that's baffled me for months. I thought maybe a fresh perspective, someone with your imagination, could help me see things I've missed." Clara's interest was piqued. She loved a good mystery, and the idea of working on a real-life case was exhilarating. "Tell me more," she urged. Samuel nodded, taking a deep breath. "It all started with the disappearance of a young woman named Emily. She vanished without a trace, leaving behind only a cryptic note. The police have hit a dead end, but I can't shake the feeling that there's more to this than meets the eye." "What did the note say?" Clara asked, her mind already racing with possibilities. "It was a riddle," Samuel replied. It read, "Where the past meets the present, the truth lies hidden. Seek the heart of Maplewood, and the answers will be revealed." Clara pondered the words, her writer's mind dissecting each phrase. "The heart of Maplewood," she mused. That could mean a lot of things. The town square, the old library, even the founder statue. "I've checked all those places," Samuel said, frustration creeping into his voice. "I'm starting to think it's something less obvious, something that requires a different way of thinking." Clara smiled. "That's where I come in. Let's start by looking at the people in Emily's life. Friends, family, anyone who might have a motive." Samuel nodded, pulling out a notebook from his jacket pocket. "I've made a list. There's her best friend, Lisa, her ex-boyfriend, Mark, and her co-worker, David. They all claim to have no idea where she is, but I can't help but feel like they're hiding something." "Let's start with Lisa," Clara suggested. "Best friends often know more Then they let on. The next morning, Clara and Samuel found themselves at Lisa's doorstep. The young woman answered, her eyes widening in surprise at the sight of Samuel with a stranger. "Lisa, this is Clara," Samuel introduced. "She's helping me with the Emily case. Can we come in?" Lisa hesitated, but eventually nodded, leading them into a small, tidy apartment. They sat around a round table in the kitchen, the smell of freshly brewed coffee filling the air. "What do you want to know?" Lisa asked, her voice trembling slightly. "Tell us about Emily," Clara said gently. "What is she like? Any secrets she might have been keeping?" Lisa sighed, her eyes filling with tears. "Emily was the kindest person I knew. She always saw the best in people. As for secrets, she did mention something about a hidden journal, but she never told me where it was." Clara and Samuel exchanged a glance. "A hidden journal?" Clara repeated. "That could be the key. Did she give you any hints about where it might be?" Lisa thought for a moment. "She once said that the past holds the answers to the future. Maybe it's somewhere connected to her family history." Clara's mind raced. "Do you know where her family is from?" "They lived in Maplewood for generations," Lisa replied. "Her great-grandfather was one of the town's founders." "That's it," Clara said, excitement bubbling up. "The heart of Maplewood. It must be something related to her family's history. Maybe an old family heirloom or a hidden room in their house?" Samuel nodded. "It's worth a shot. Let's head over to Emily's family home." The old house stood at the edge of town, its grandeur faded, but still imposing. Clara and Samuel approached, the gravel crunching under their feet. The front door was locked, but Samuel had a key from his investigation. Inside, the house was a maze of dusty rooms and forgotten memories. They searched for hours, turning over furniture, tapping on walls, and looking for hidden compartments. Just as they were about to give up, Clara noticed a loose floorboard in the attic. "Samuel, look here," she called. Samuel hurried over, prying up the board to reveal a hidden compartment. Inside was a leather-bound journal, its pages yellowed with age. Clara carefully opened it, her heart pounding. The journal was filled with Emily's handwriting, detailing her thoughts, dreams, and fears. But it was the last entry that caught their attention. "I've discovered something incredible," Emily had written. "A secret that could change everything. I need to hide this journal where no one will find it. But I'll leave clues for those who seek the truth. Follow the path of the founders, and you will find the answers." Clara and Samuel looked at each other, determination in their eyes. They had a new lead, and they were going to follow it to the end. The path of the founders led them to the old town cemetery, a place steeped in history and mystery. They wandered among the graves, searching for any sign of a clue. It was Clara who spotted it first, a faint inscription on the base of the founder's statue. "In the heart of Maplewood, where the oak stands tall, the truth shall be revealed to all," she read aloud. Samuel looked around, spotting a majestic oak tree at the far end of the cemetery. They hurried over, their footsteps quickening with anticipation. At the base of the tree, they found a small, weathered box. Inside the box was a stack of letters, each one addressed to Emily. They were from her great-grandfather, detailing a hidden legacy and a secret society that had protected Maplewood for generations. The final letter revealed the shocking truth. Emily had discovered their existence and was planning to expose them. "This is bigger than we thought," Samuel said, his voice grave. "If Emily found out about the society, it's possible they took her to keep their secret safe." Clara nodded, her mind racing. "We need to find out who's part of this society. It's the only way to find Emily." Their search led them to the town's historical society, where they discovered a list of members. Among the names were some of the town's most prominent citizens, including Emily's co-worker, David. Confronting David was a risk, but they had no choice. They found him at the local diner, nursing a cup of coffee. Clara approached him, her heart pounding. "David, we need to talk," she said, her voice steady. David looked up, surprise flashing in his eyes. "What's this about?" "We know about the society," Clara said, watching his reaction closely. "And we know Emily found out. Where is she?" David's face paled, and then he glanced around, nervously. "I can't tell you that," he stammered. "They'll kill me." "She's your friend, David," Samuel said sternly. "You have to do the right thing." After a tense standoff, David finally relented. "They're holding her at the old mill on the outskirts of town. But you have to hurry. They're planning to move her tonight." Clara and Samuel wasted no time, racing to the old mill. The sun had set, casting the building in eerie shadows. They crept inside, the sound of their footsteps echoing in the vast, empty space. They found Emily in a small, locked room, her face pale but determined. Clara quickly unlocked the door, and Emily stumbled into her arms. "Thank you," Emily whispered, tears streaming down her face. "Let's get you out of here," Samuel said, ushering them towards the exit. But just as they were about to leave, they were confronted by a group of men, their faces hidden in the shadows. "You shouldn't have come here," one of them said, his voice cold. "We're not leaving without her," Clara replied, standing her ground. A tense standoff ensued, but Clara and Samuel managed to outsmart the men, using their wits and quick thinking to escape. They fled the mill, the sound of sirens growing louder as they reached the safety of the town. Emily was safe, and the society's secrets were exposed. Clara and Samuel had solved the mystery, but it was the bond they had formed that truly mattered. Clara found her inspiration, and Samuel found a new friend. As they stood together, watching the sun rise over Maplewood, Clara knew that this was just the beginning. There were countless stories waiting to be told, and she was ready to uncover them all.